Y'all, it looks like Beyoncé just shattered the internet with a silent bombshell, confirming the rumors the industry has been whispering about for years. The speculation about Rumi's neurodivergence just got an unspoken confirmation, but that's not even the half of it. While the world was focused on her daughter, a secret DNA test allegedly exposed the truth about Jay-Z's real son. Now fans are spiraling, trying to connect the dots. Was Beyoncé forced to go public after years of hiding the truth? Is this her way of taking back control after Jay-Z's love child scandal resurfaced? And what does this mean for their legacy now that the perfect family image is cracked wide open? Word on the street is that Beyoncé and Jay-Z are scrambling behind the scenes to contain the fallout before everything explodes. And the whispers are getting darker. People are saying the Carters are so desperate to get ahead of the story that they might even go public with Rumi's alleged autism diagnosis, just to soften the blow before the DNA results drop. If that sounds wild, just remember, this isn't the first time the Carters have faced this kind of pressure. The autism rumors have been around for a while, but they hit a new level after Beyoncé brought Rumi on stage during the Cowboy Carter tour. In the clip that went viral, fans pointed out her body language, hand movements, the way she lit up, and even how she stymied, behaviors commonly seen in neurodivergent kids when they're excited or overstimulated.
Even though I know someday you'll shine on your own, I'll be a protector, wanna be a protector. You so beautiful, can't you?
But here's where the hypocrisy really starts to raise eyebrows. After years of trying to shut down the autism rumors behind closed doors, Beyoncé and Jay-Z are now allegedly ready to step forward and reframe the conversation, positioning themselves as an image of strength and acceptance for parents of autistic children. But the timing feels suspicious, especially when just weeks ago they were reportedly planning to sue Kanye for even mentioning the twins' alleged diagnosis. And if you remember, Kanye didn't just hint at it, he went all the way off. In one of his now-deleted rants, he said, "Wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyoncé's younger kids? No, like literally. And this is why artificial insemination is such a blessing. Having children is a choice. If Twitter takes my ish down, so be it. But I need y'all to know Jay-Z and nobody have no power over me." As disgusting as those words were, the Carters' legal team allegedly sprang into action, threatening lawsuits and NDAs to silence the conversation. According to Page 6, Jay-Z and Beyoncé were shocked that Kanye attacked their two youngest children in such a vulgar rant, and made it clear they would absolutely not stand for it. They were already discussing whether to handle it privately or take legal action. And y'all, that was just a couple of weeks ago. So this sudden about-face is shocking to say the least. Now, the streets are whispering that this move is nothing more than deflection ahead of the real scandal, Jay-Z finally being forced to take a paternity test. Word is, the courts have backed him into a corner, and after years of dodging, he's being forced to cough up that long-awaited DNA sample. For over a decade, Rumi has claimed Jay-Z is his father, and just as long Jay-Z has used every legal loophole, delay tactic, and sealed file to avoid proving it. But now, that game looks like it's finally over.
If you're not the father, why you ain't just get this done and over with? You know, my mom was a dancer. She used to go to a couple concerts with our friends, and basically they went to an apartment building, they relaxed and chilled and, had sex.
Has Jay-Z or any of his people tried to reach out to you to maybe squash you from doing these?
I mean, I wouldn't say they trying to stop it, but they definitely don't want it out there. I would say that. It's crazy to me. I'm not asking for no money or nothing. I'm not asking for no handouts or nothing like that. I work every day. I take care of my family. Only thing I'm asking for, if it's not the truth and there's nothing wrong with the Supreme Court, just get it over with.
Yeah,
get it over with.
Yeah, you just want the answer.
The courts are now reportedly demanding that DNA test. And if the results say what fans think they will, this could turn into the biggest paternity scandal hip-hop has ever seen. But here's where the story flips, because insiders claim Jay-Z hasn't just been protecting himself. The real reason he's been dodging this test for years allegedly has Beyoncé written all over it. And that's still not the only reason. Here's where things take a seriously dark turn. According to a blind item making the rounds, Jay-Z isn't just avoiding the paternity test to keep Rami quiet or to satisfy Beyoncé. He's allegedly avoiding it because putting his DNA on official record could open the door to something far bigger. We're talking criminal level bigger. The blind item claims Jay-Z is desperate not to submit DNA because it could allegedly be linked to evidence in multiple unsolved crimes, including some serious allegations involving deaths. The exact wording said, "The permanent A-list rapper could just provide a DNA sample and get the whole paternity thing out of the way. But then the sample could be used to solve a whole bunch of killings that the rapper might be hinted at being involved in." And suddenly, this isn't just a paternity case anymore. Now it's looking like a potential criminal cover-up. If even a fraction of that is true, it changes everything. And honestly, that might be the clearest reason yet why Jay-Z has fought these allegations for so long. Because deep down, it was never just about avoiding a paternity test. It was about protecting himself from alleged crimes of his past, along with the empire he and Beyoncé have built. From the very beginning, people close to the situation said Beyoncé was never going to sign up to be a stepmother to a child she didn't even know existed before marrying Jay-Z. And her image is everything. She spent her entire career building a brand around control, power, and perfection. The sudden appearance of a secret firstborn son completely shatters that. But now, with the court stepping in and forcing Jay-Z to finally submit DNA, Beyoncé's worst fear might be coming to life in real time. Because once those results are public, let's be real, they won't stay hidden for long. And the fallout could be catastrophic. We're not just talking about messy headlines. To put it in perspective just how much Beyoncé allegedly wants Rami silenced, he and his guardian Lily claim they've been receiving threats. And not from random trolls or online haters. According to them, the intimidation has been coming directly from Beyoncé's camp. They even suspect the pressure wasn't just from her team, but from Beyoncé herself. In fact, in an interview with Liz Croyne, both Rami and Lily flat out said exactly that.
Persons from Mr. Carter's family who contacted us through Twitter about Rami, asking for him to drop the case and to stop doing stuff with the case because Jay likes people disloyal. And for him to do this, it doesn't look good. And if he wants some resolution, he needs to stop, make this case go away. The Beyoncé thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp, and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay, about regarding saying Rami needs to go away little boy, something to that effect. There was something out there with the song they made. And then next thing I know, somebody was at my property. Somebody came to my property in the evening time and had a conversation about trying to get in.
But it didn't stop there. Lily went even further, revealing that several insiders had privately reached out to her with shocking information. According to them, Beyoncé was allegedly the one calling the shots behind the scenes. They claimed she was the main voice in Jay-Z's ear, actively pushing him not to take the DNA test, and doing whatever it took to keep the truth buried.
Crazy.
Right. I mean, it could be a coincidence, may not be, who knows? But people were saying that she's a big part of the problems for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not, she would have some sort of role in what her husband does. And if she was secure with herself and with the situation, not saying you gotta like it, she would help her husband handle it. Because this is a black community. This is a black man. Rami is black. And then you have black people, and I'm not trying to be funny, y'all. I love black people out there doing stuff and get your own color in the civil rights department and in the legal system.
And this would explain why Rami has been fighting for so long, even when it seemed like justice was never on his side. Now, y'all know the internet hasn't exactly been kind to him. For years, people have dragged him through the mud, calling him a clout chaser, accusing him of being hungry for Jay-Z's money, or just chasing his 15 minutes of fame. But if you've actually paid attention to what Rami has been saying all along, it tells a completely different story. According to him, this was never about money. In one interview, he literally said, "Everybody's looking at me saying I'm chasing Jay-Z. I want money. I'm doing this for fame. This was never about money for me." My whole thing was just to see who my father was. To back things up even further, Rami made it clear that he's been grinding on his own for years. No handouts, no shortcuts. He's been working 2 jobs, handling his responsibilities, and standing on his own 2 feet. All he's ever wanted is the truth and to be treated fairly by the courts. In his words, I got my own money. I work 2 jobs. I take care of my own business. I just needed closure, and I want respect from the courts just like everybody else goes in there and gets fair due process. Why didn't I get that? Why did I just get brushed to the side? So, when people try to paint him as someone out for a payday, the facts say otherwise. This man just wants closure. And maybe, finally, that's what he's about to get. But here's where it gets even messier. Because even though Rami has been saying for years that he doesn't want Jay-Z's money, isn't chasing clout, and couldn't care less about being part of that world, let's be real, there are billions on the table. Literal billions tied to the Carter brand. And the Carters aren't about to sit back and let all that come crashing down over a paternity scandal, especially not one that could turn their carefully curated legacy into tabloid chaos overnight. If that wasn't enough, whispers in the industry also suggest that one of the biggest reasons Jay-Z keeps fighting that DNA test is because of how young Rami's mother allegedly was when everything went down. And if that's true, this stops being just a paternity scandal and turns into something way more serious. Something Beyoncé allegedly wants buried at all costs. And can we talk about the shade? Because Jay-Z and Beyoncé haven't exactly kept it cute when it comes to Rami. Over the years, they've dropped some not-so-subtle jabs. One moment that really had the streets buzzing was Jay-Z's verse on their song Heard About Us where he said, "Penny to your thoughts for the 1000th time, the kid ain't mine. Online they call me dad, kidding me? You're not supposed to take this dad thing literally." They got cocky, assuming cops and judges would always be on their side. But imagine how shook they must have been when a judge finally ordered Jay-Z to take the paternity test and settle the issue once and for all. Now, Jay-Z did respond to the judge's order, but not in the way people expected. Instead of addressing the paternity issue head-on, he claimed Rami had been harassing him for years. According to court documents, Jay-Z's legal team described Rami's actions as baseless and obsessive. They argued that the allegations had already been rejected in multiple courts, and that Rami's persistence had even resulted in a contempt order. Basically, Jay's position is that this case has been shut down time and time again, and Rami keeps dragging it back up just to keep the narrative alive. But considering a judge is now forcing him to finally take the DNA test, clearly someone in that courtroom feels like something still doesn't add up. And it gets even more interesting from here, because according to reports, Jay-Z's legal team is now playing the delay card. They asked the court for more time to formally respond to the lawsuit, claiming that although the suit was originally filed on May 6th, it wasn't properly served. In fact, they argued that Jay-Z didn't even know about the lawsuit until nearly a month later on June 3rd. Well, this little loophole is now being used as a reason to stall the proceedings, buying Jay-Z and his team some extra time. But let's be real for a second, for a millisecond. Given how long this paternity drama has been dragging on, fans aren't exactly buying the whole "he didn't know" excuse. Especially not when the internet's been buzzing about it nonstop. Fans are now speculating that the real reason Jay-Z is trying to stall is because he wants Beyoncé to finish her ongoing Cowboy Carter tour before the scandal breaks. And when fans did the math, they realized that the extra time Jay-Z asked for lined up perfectly with the end of the tour. That tells us something massive is about to happen, and Jay-Z might just become a father of 4 overnight. But again, this also explains why the Carters would allegedly be willing to confirm the rumors about Rumi possibly being autistic. It's not just about speaking their truth. It's about controlling the narrative, grabbing public sympathy, and steering the spotlight away from the DNA scandal by opening up about something deeply personal. By doing that, they could soften the blow and sway public opinion back in their favor before the real storm hits. Just like that, the Carters may have played their biggest hand yet. But is it strategy or desperation? From Secret Sons to Autism confessions, the timing isn't sitting right with a lot of folks. One minute Jay-Z is fighting DNA tests. The next Beyoncé is painting herself as a strong mother of an autistic child. Are they really trying to rewrite the headlines before the real scandal explodes? Because if the DNA results confirm what many suspect, the entire Carter empire might be standing on borrowed time. Either way, the mask is slipping, and the truth is coming out whether they like it or not.